Welcome to the GPLama YouTube channel, where indoor cycling season is well underway, with winter starting today, December 1st in the Northern Hemisphere. Now in today's video, I thought I'd have a quick look at the 3 new smart trainers announced on the internet this week. Those being the Cycplus T3, the Magene T600, and the Saris H3 Plus. But is it really a plus? What makes it a plus? I'll dig into all those details in this video. Now, as I don't have any retail or production models of these trainers, today's not a hands-on comprehensive deep dive with a Llama lab test on these trainers. I'll do a quick spec overview based on what's been published to date, and if I can get my hands on these trainers in the near future, expect those full comprehensive reviews to be published. All right, let's kick off with the new Cycplus T3 trainer. The Cycplus T3 smart trainer appears to be a big step up from the, well, now infamous T2 trainer, which I had one of the most bizarre problems I've ever encountered here in the Llama lab, where the trainer wasn't being properly earthed, resulting in my Garmin touchscreen simply not working when they're on the bike connected to this trainer. I really hope the T3 does address those shortfalls of the T2, and that does appear to be the case, with the website listing a number of the issues that I did report back to Cycplus as being resolved with the T3. Now, I did have 5 units of the T2. Originally, I thought it was 4, but the body count was 5 when packing everything into the car, going to the metal recyclers after reviewing that unit. Pulling up the technical specifications and a comparison with previous models, the T3 does appear to be a little bigger in the virtual flywheel department there. Accuracy remains the same, plus or minus 1% margin of error. Max power greatly increased there, up to 2800 watts from 2200 watts. Maximum incline also gets a boost from 15% max gradient up to 27% virtual gradient. Max torque 110 Newton meters up from 60. That's a huge improvement. Output, so the data received from the trainer, cadence, power, speed, all the same as previous models. The newer model giving you left-right balance. I'm hoping with a foot sensor or a crank sensor of some type to give true left-right on that unit. Downhill simulation, plug-free operation, no calibration required, Bluetooth 5.0 and ANT+, erg mode, pretty small footprint. I was impressed with the T2 footprint. And lastly, the weight of the unit, also putting on a few kilos to give it a bit more beef. So based on those technical specifications alone, it does look like Cycplus have done quite a bit of work for the release of the T3 trainer, making the unit heavier and really beefing up those max grade and max watts specifications. But to be honest, I don't think the T3 quite hits the mark for a trainer released in almost 2024. The competition is tough, and the competition now does have Ethernet, Wi-Fi, Direct Connect, that's missing. There's no race mode on this. There's no heart rate sensor bridging and no odometer. On the upside, this trainer does have pretty good power accuracy and doesn't require calibration. But look, to be honest, the T3 does match the specifications of trainers that have been out there for a number of years already, specifically the Neo 2T. So I think for a new generation trainer, rather than just improve on the previous model specifications, Cycplus really do need to step ahead rather than just improve on what they've already got. Anyhow, interesting stuff, and I don't expect to see a T3 anytime soon in the Llama lab based on my previous reporting on how the T2 performed. On the off chance Cycplus are confident in the T3, I'd happily accept one to test and report back on after putting it through my standard testing protocols. Next up, we have Magene announcing their T600 flagship model smart trainer this week, and here's what we know from their website showing the T600. It has a similar resistance unit design to the Neo, using magnets, power accuracy claimed plus or minus 1%, ANT+, multi-Bluetooth ×3 on that side of things, 20% gradient simulation, 2200 watts maximum resistance, Ethernet and Wi-Fi connectivity, and I do have a strong suspicion this is Direct Connect. They support race mode, so 10 Hz over Direct Connect, either Wi-Fi or Ethernet, and they do have sensor bridging. Magene even listing the Apple TV connection limit that this helps with. Interestingly enough, what we see over there on the Magene website is, I think, what we're all expecting the Tacx Neo 3 to be. But it appears Magene have beat them to the punch. How does this trainer stack up against the Neo 3? Well, we don't know, there is no Neo 3. But how does it stack up against the Neo 2T and others? Well, stay tuned and hopefully we'll find out soon here in the Llama lab. And finally today, Saris announcing their H3 Plus. But first, let's rewind a little bit. Now, the H3 was their 3rd generation Hammer smart trainer, launched back in mid-2019. Saris announced their next generation H4 trainer a little over 12 months ago. They sent one over. It wasn't great. They were in the process of ironing out a few of the issues. during which time the company was sold, acquired. Well, I guess you could say they had a pretty rough patch, and the H4 hasn't been seen or heard of since. But this week, surprise, Saris launched a new trainer, the H3 Plus, now claiming 12-speed support. But here's where things get a little awkward. The H4 also claimed 12-speed support, but didn't. Now, 12-speed support really isn't a thing. 11-speed Shimano Hyperglide hubs support 12-speed cassettes. They are backwards compatible. Unfortunately, the free hubs that Saris are or were using weren't made to the correct specification, meaning their trainers were not 12-speed compatible. This incompatibility with 12-speed cassettes in the past was a limitation of their own making, and typically companies resolve these and don't say much about them. But here we are, Saris are making a lot of noise. It's a brand new trainer. They're charging you $150 for them to solve this problem, and not much else changes with this trainer. As I said, it's a little bit awkward, and that's even without me putting their feet to the fire, asking where these Generation 2 features are, like Durcon, race mode, heart rate bridging, and all the other stuff that most other companies support. Interesting times. But look, calling it as it is, and calling out bullshit like this, it is not all new. Let's get real. Anyhow, there we are today. 3 trainers out there on the market, which I haven't seen here in the Llama Lab in their retail form. If I can get a hold of them, I will, and I'll test them. And in doing so, I'll cut through all the bullshit and tell you exactly how they work. And with that, we'll leave it there. Happy Friday. Enjoy the winter in the Northern Hemisphere, and enjoy summer if you're down south here with me. Thanks for watching.